Okay, so today we're going to discuss the different white blood cell anomalies. Okay, so we start discussion here by, okay, so we have here the WBC anomalies related to your nuclear fragments or nuclear remnants. So we have the term here basket cell, we have also here the smudge cells. So both of them, so your smudge cells here, there's actually a nuclear remnant coming from your lymphocytic cell. So this one, basically here, non-pathologic, maybe induced here your smudge cell preparation or smudge production here by your blood smear preparation. So that's normal. And also related here to your pathologic condition, we're talking about your CLL, your chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Your smudge cells are a very fragile cell. In order for you to preserve that one, then you need to add here your blood coming from the patients. You add here 22% albumin to preserve that one. Another one, we have here the basket cell. So the basket cell resemble here your smudge cells, only that it's also a nuclear fragments, only that it came from your granulocytic cell. Okay, so non-pathologic cause here of the production, there are basket cells associated with your blood smear preparation. And for the pathologic, then that will be related to your chronic granulocytic leukemia, or we have your chronic myelogenous leukemia. So all of that related here to granulocytic leukemia. So how would you differentiate here between smudge cells or basket cells? Then you need to consider here the condition of the patient. Like if the patient, for example, would have a lymphocytic leukemia, then you happen to see structure which resemble here your basket smudge cells. So that's your smudge cells because this one is lymphocytic. But if you consider here the condition diagnosed the patient to be granulocytic leukemia, then if you happen to see a structure or cell here having that morphology with this one, so then you try to report that one as your basket cell. Okay, the next one we have here the nuclear abnormalities. So first we have here the hypersegmentation. So hypersegmentation occurring here in the neutrophil characterized by having more than 5 lobes. So the normal neutrophil would have 2 to 5 lobes. We speak about the hypersegmentation, so that would have here more than 5 lobes. So this is happening here, or it could be seen. This is inherited here as autosomal dominant. Could also be acquired related to your megaloblastic anemia or even your pernicious anemia. Other name for your hypersegmented neutrophil, we have here your macroovalucyte, and we have also your or pernicious anemia poly cell. It's also associated with your myelocathexis. Okay, the next one, we have here your hyposegmentation, or the neutrophil here. In the case of your neutrophil, the lobes or the nucleus here fail to segment or do not lobulate because of the defects here or because of the mutation occurring on the lamin B receptor. So we describe the Pelger-Ewing here as a pin's nest, a dumbbell shape, peanut shape, or even we have here the receptacle. Okay, so this is inherited also as autosomal dominant. It may be associated here with acquired condition, and as your pseudopelgioiae associated with your myeloproliferative disorders or even on patients undergoing that chemotherapy. Okay, the next one, we have also here the cells which try to exhibit phagocytosis or the engulfment. So we have here the LE cell related to your lupus erythematosus, your SLE. So LE cell here characterized by this is a neutrophil which try to ingest a dead nuclear material coming from another neutrophil. If we try to stain this LE cell would have your smooth and homogeneous pattern. Smooth and even na pattern. Another one, we have here the Target cell. The Target cell is your macrophage. We try to ingest a lymphocyte. So this is, when try to stain that one, it would have rough and uneven. That would differentiate that one from your LE cell. Another one we have here, the erythrophagocytosis, is just your macrophages. We try to ingest, okay, the red cells. So this would be associated with your bleeding manifestation, like in the case of your ABO or even your RH incompatibility. Okay, now we have here another cell here. We have your, related to your atypical lymphocytes. We have here the Rider cell. The current name of that's your flower cell. So this is lymphocytes which has the typical na nuclear characteristics being notch, lobulated, or clover leaf. Then we have also here the plasma cells. We have here a typical na plasma cell, the flame cell. So this is the plasma cells were in the nucleus here, or the cytoplasm, I mean here would have appears to be highly eosinophilic or reddish because of highly eosinophilic cytoplasm, making here characteristic or giving here the characteristic of flame or flaming. That's why being called here the flame cell. Okay, now we go to the defects in the cytoplasm. So first we have here the Alder-Riley bodies. So the Alder-Riley bodies here is characterized by bluish granules that could be found in the cytoplasm of all your WBC. So this Alder-Riley bodies here is actually made up of the stored mucopolysaccharides which are eventually not able to be released to the cytoplasm, or that's not able to be released. So basically this one is associated here with your Alder-Riley anomaly, also associated here with your mucopolysaccharide disorders, Harler and Hunter syndrome. That one is inherited here as autosomal recessive. Then we have here the Auer-Raz. So Auer-Raz primarily made up of the fused primary granules. Most likely could be associated here with your M3 or acute promyelocytic leukemia. And our rights here, M3 would always be associated with high incidence of the DIC or disseminated intravascular coagulopathy. So sometimes our rights try to form here a bundle or a bunch or bundles of your our rights, called as one phagot cell. Another anomaly here found in the cytoplasm would be the Higashi. So this one made up of large purplish granules primarily made up of the defective lysosomes which fail to be released. Okay, so because of that example of the lysozymes or lysosomes here, we have your melanosomes. So melanosome is the one who try to give us a characteristic or try to produce here melanocytes which give us a characteristic color of our skin. In the event wherein you have the defective lysozymes here, so that would eventually result here to the albinism. Okay, so this is also inherited as autosomal recessive trait.